Yeah, I lied. I cheated, but I didn't stalk you. I didn't hit you. I didn't kill people. I didn't do any of this.
There's not a line in the world that I wouldn't cross for you.
Season 5 of You is approaching faster than Joe falling in love with a new woman. The show has been a roller coaster of emotions and has had its ups and downs. Joe's story has not only been complex but very intriguing. So without a further ado, let's rank each and every season of Netflix You.
Alone at the edge of a universe, humming a tune for me.
I can prove this. I'll prove it.
It hurts to say this, but season 4 is easily the weakest season and therefore my least favorite season of You. It wasn't really the story, but instead how they played that story out. This season was hit really hard by the mid-season break. Yes, the twist was cool, but it was overall a negative. The twist also made us aware of how unaware the cast were. So you're telling me Joe was just talking to himself and disappearing, and they thought, oh well, he's just an American. The cast this season was unbearable, and I guess that was the point. I just didn't like it. Kate and Joe seemed to have the least amount of chemistry this show has seen so far. But there is good this season. The twist was great, and seeing Joe not only lose his mind, but being able to see Joe while outside of his head, and seeing how dark and twisted he was, a welcome addition for real.
Hello? You? No, fuck, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not gonna try to figure out who you are, why you look so concerned about the state of that heirloom tomato.
Season 2, I like this season. I like how they took us out of New York and there are consequences for Joe's actions, even if they were seldom. Joe is up to his normal shenanigans, he just can't stay away, and this time he needs love. I feel like love is a great contrast to Beck. See, Beck played on Joe's savior complex while Love already had everything she needed and wanted. I feel like Joe and Love's relationship was the best in the show, and was the coolest and closest to real love. They complemented each other very well, and the overall cast was great. Candace and 40, just to name a few, were fantastic that season. It would beat out season 1 if only it deviated itself from the first great season.
Well, hello there. Who are you?
See, the top 2 are so close it's crazy. This is a non-stop bingeable show that is so good that you can finish it in one day. But up next is the first season, the season that started it all. This season had me in a chokehold. It's weird how Joe is such an evil person, but the show puts us in his head that we as the viewers start to romanticize him, which is crazy to think about. This season laid out the building blocks and gave us enough mystery so that we could be intrigued by Joe, just like Beck and others are. Who would think that the quiet, charming bookstore manager would be a crazy, obsessive, psychotic killer?
I'm here.
Joe. Why am I in here?
That was good. Because we're talking, we're getting it out of the open.
You hit me!
I'm sorry, Beck, I'm sorry. I didn't want you to freak out.
Joe! I am locked in a glass cage!
Temporarily.
The twists in this story were at its peak because we didn't know Joe or what he would do. It was like being in the mind of a criminal committing the crimes, but just not knowing what they'll do next. The relationship between Beck and Joe shows us how his mommy issues affected him, and how his nature is to become a savior. His sadistic nature got him into a lot of trouble, but he did indeed get away with it, in the end, or so we'll see in season 5.
It's time to cut the umbilical cord.
But I've forged my way in the dark before. I can do it now. I have to protect my daughter.
Congratulations, Dad. It's a boy.
It's a boy?
Now, number 1, the best season is season 3. In the last section, I said how the show is in the mind of the killer while he's committing crimes. Well, this season is about putting Joe in an uncomfortable spot that even he doesn't know what to do, and that's fatherhood. Not only fatherhood, but also being a husband. That's the strongest and purest form of love, right? Marriage. Well, Joe needs his partner to be innocent, but love is just like him, and that leads to a lot of problems. See, Joe is put in our shoes during season 1. He knows what she thinks because she's just like him, and that frightens him, and he hates seeing himself in the mirror. And when his son was born, he realized he doesn't want his son becoming like him. I love the story this season, the setting, the cast, all of it was great, and maybe they should have ended it there. The only thing I didn't like about this season was Marion, but of course Joe needs to find someone new. It's Joe after all. This show is one of my favorites of all time. It can be dumb a lot of the time, but it has a lot more positive than it has negatives. I'm really excited to see what they do with the final season of the show and how Joe's story ends. Let me know how you would rank these seasons and what you think will happen in season 5. I'm E, and thank you for just giving me a few minutes of your time.